नूर नजर आता है।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम वअदल्लाहुल्लज़ीन आमनू मिनकुम वअमिलुस्सालिहाति लयस्तखलिफन्नहुम फिल अर्द।
Florida is the most popular family holiday destination in the world. It is well known for its theme parks and the Space Center, but also has a wealth of wildlife and nature. A lot of the attractions are based in Orlando, which is shown in the middle of this map of Florida, and on the eastern coast is NASA's Kennedy Space Center. On the south is the Everglades Nature Reserve and the Florida Keys. There is a wide variety of accommodation available throughout Florida, which tends to be inexpensive. The rooms are generally large and well equipped. You often have a choice to have breakfast inside your hotel or try something outside. Since Florida is such a huge state, it is a good idea to hire your own car with air conditioning, since the climate is always hot and sometimes humid. The best time to go is in the spring and winter, which runs from October to April and boasts an average temperature of over 20 degrees. Due to its climate, Florida is known as the Sunshine State. We'll start off with Disney's Epcot Center. Epcot stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow and was opened in 1982 and is a showcase of the current art and culture from around the world, but also shows ideas of what life could be like in the future. The Epcot Center appeals more to older children and adults. This year in particular, there are extra displays to coincide with the year 2000. Epcot comes alive at night when all the attractions are lit up, and there is a fireworks display every evening from the lagoon, which makes a fitting climax to the day's entertainment. "50 miles east of Orlando is NASA's Kennedy Space Center, which is open to the public for visits, and nearby is NASA's other site, Cape Canaveral, from which rocket launches take place. If you time your visit just right, then you might be lucky enough to see a space shuttle launch or landing. You can either take a coach tour around the launch site, or you can wander around the rocket garden yourself to see early rockets on display. The coach tour will take you to the Apollo exhibition, which includes a mock-up of Mission Control and a full-size Saturn V rocket as used in the Apollo moon landing.
Outside is a display of the space shuttle, which is used to launch satellites such as the one that NTA uses for its broadcasts. This shuttle is called the Ambassador and was used as a trainer by astronauts. You can wander around inside and see the cockpit and an example of a satellite that the shuttle can take up. Lastly, the Astronauts Memorial honors those astronauts who died during the space program. It turns with the sun, so that the sunlight is always reflected to illuminate their names. Before we have a look at some of the other theme parks, it is worth taking a quick look at International Drive in Orlando. This runs south of Orlando and has many of the hotels and restaurants. The road itself is like an outdoor theme park. The attractions on the road include simulator rides, helicopter tours, skydiving, and karting. International Drive is typical of the way that Florida is geared up for the tourist trade. Florida has over 120,000 hotel rooms and is serviced by 4 major airports. Elsewhere on International Drive, there is a Mexican-style market and shopping mall called the Mercado. Many tourists use International Drive as their base and visit all of the theme parks from here. It is easy to find accommodation and food for any taste. Now let's have a look at 2 other theme parks. Universal Studios is a celebration of many famous films produced by the studios, and you may recognize some of your favorite characters such as Jaws, King Kong, and cartoon characters. But no visit to Florida would be complete without popping into Disney World. The Magic Kingdom was opened in 1971, and there has been a parade of the Disney characters every day since. The Magic Kingdom appeals to children and adults alike. So far, we have seen the commercialized face of Florida. But there is another face based on its natural features and wildlife. Silver Springs is such an attraction and is based around 60 miles north of Orlando. It houses a range of wildlife, including alligators, birds of prey, and these beautiful flamingos. Another big attraction here is the glass-bottom boats, so called because they have a glass base through which you can see fish and coral. And everywhere you can see alligators, eating, sleeping, and even swimming next to your boat. The landscape is typical of the lakes and swamps which you can find in Florida.
Spider monkeys come from South and Central America.